insightful, but are you likable? You got jokes, you're the host, stand up. Are you likable?
Hello and welcome to Likeable, a show where we discuss stand-up comedy from an entry-level perspective. Today I am joined by Mr. David Beckles Jr.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man?
Welcome. How you doing, brother?
Good, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for having me on. Yes.
Gently touch our knuckles.
Yeah. Davids, the two Davids.
The two Davids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it still at Black Rock Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
At Black Rock
Dave is one half of the Velvet Sugar podcast.
Yeah. Guess which half? Is the velvet or the sugar?
Yeah. I was like, fuck, I don't really know. Yeah, dude. I was on an episode of your show, which was fantastic.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. It's a good show.
And you had Alex on yours, and that was a fantastic interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then I've been when we left that recording, like the three of us, it was like, all right, we gotta get you guys on the show now too, and we're finally making it happen.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful thing. Beautiful
Hell
thing.
yeah, dude.
Podcasting is part of the art form these days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you really want to grow, because. Back in the day, especially in the 90s, Just for Laughs Comedy Festival was it. That's the way to be seen. Because from there, it launched careers. You could have got to maybe a Tonight Show, a late night show, tour, LA, something. But now it's these things. It's social media. It's podcasting.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But that's, that's how it is in 2026.
How long have you been doing comedy for?
My first mic was 2004.
2004.
Yeah, my first mic. It was Tuesday night train wreck in the city. So I went there. I used to do that every Tuesday for about a year. I had a full-time job then. I was engaged.
Okay.
I got married in 2005. My wife got pregnant right away.
Okay. Nice. Efficient.
Yeah. We had our baby very next year. So I had quit my job, quit a full-time job. I used to do a lot of background work. And then I would, dabble every often, like months at a time. And then something else would come up and I wouldn't do it for months or sometimes even years. But I've been on and off since then. But back in like 2017, 18, I took it more and more seriously. Took it more seriously, especially just before the pandemic. I was on the road for work, and I made it a point 2017 that every city I stopped in, let me hit a mic up. So I hit a mic up in Chicago, Detroit, right? I got laughs from strangers.
Yeah.
And I was like, So when I went back on the road for work, same gig 2019, I stopped in Chicago, we stopped in Detroit, stopped in Dallas, Texas, Tennessee. And I got laughs, and I'd like to think I'm better now than I was then. So I was like, I got to do this.
I mean, I don't know how you were then, but you're pretty phenomenal now.
It was. Listen, it's just a journey. Everybody's got a journey, man. So.
When did you start doing? If you don't know David's comedy, master of impressions and voices. When did you start doing that?
Kid.
A kid?
Kid. I grew up in Barbados.
Okay.
Right. So. Barbados was a former British colony, so we had a lot of British TV. So we were exposed to a lot of British TV and exposed to Jamaican dancehall music. So those are the two accents I used to do a lot, British and Jamaican.
Okay.
In my teens. So when I came back here, like to live, then I was exposed to all of these different accents. I had a job on Varick Street downtown. It was in the mailroom. Dean Ritter Reynolds were at the mailroom, and that was wild, man. We had all kind of characters. Oh my God! But little did I know that's what I was learning from, because you had island people, you had Jamaicans, Trinidadians, people from my country. Then you got Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. Then the Indian guys would pop, like arrogance. We used to clown everybody.
Yeah.
So with that, I got loads of practice. You know what I mean? Like loads of practice. And I met this dude in college. I thought he was funny. And when I started to do accents, he was like, yo, that's pretty good. I was like, you serious? Then I switched jobs and I worked at a bank. I worked there for 10 years, but it was one dude, man, that was hilarious with impressions. Then I was doing mine for him in the elevator, and he said, that's pretty good. I was like, what? Are you serious? But yeah, and then just kept doing them.
Has it always been in your act?
At first, yes,
Okay.
but then as I do, because I used to do a bunch of city mics, right?
Yeah.
I never found an act like mine. So I started thinking, well, hey, maybe it's not the way to do comedy. I should do what they do, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
had stopped doing accents in my act, and I just used to do straight jokes. And then I remember one time I was in Canada. I was with my wife's cousins. We went to a mic in Toronto. And when I was done, him and his girlfriend was like, "Yo, what happened to the accents and the voices? What are you doing?" Right? Then I had a friend, a very good. He's like an OG to me. Right? He was a theater actor, and when I would, because he would accompany me to the mics when we were on the road. He was like, "Dude, what you doing with the voices and the accent?" He's like, "I want to hear." He's like, "No, you should never not do." I was like, okay. Then I started back, like, really leaning into them because it's part of my act. That's what I do.
Yeah, you're fantastic at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be like, well, because I want to write strong material as well that
Yeah.
can stand alone without an accent. But I do types of story types, right?
Yeah,
Talking
yeah.
about family or scenarios, and this is people that are in my act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I watch a lot of different TV from all over the world. So I get to work on English, Irish, Scottish, German. So I love that. I'm drawn to that. I love it.
You have a bit where your older neighbor falls down, and
Yeah.
it's like even just like adding the English accent
Yeah,
to
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
saying penis.
Yeah.
It's a penis. Yeah. Why don't you show him your penis,
Yeah.
Dave? Yeah. It's such a memorable bit, but like I don't know how much of that is true,
Yeah.
but like it's just like an amazing thing to just like add in that wrinkle of her just being like, you show yours. It'll make it,
Yeah, but you know what? As you learn and you discover what is real, what is not. Everything that I say is built on truth, right? Everything that I have in the act is based on truth. Now, what you do with it then is the artistic license that you have as a comedian to entertain. So some
Definitely.
things are straight. If I do a bit about my dad, and that sounds wild, but that is actually what the stuff he used to say to me and my brother growing up. He used to always say, "Yeah, he said you two guys, you come from here, beating his
yeah,
balls."
yeah. You come from there.
He
Yeah.
and it's not like one time. We grew up hearing this. This is things that used to happen.
People always ask me, David, how do you keep your body so trim, so fit, so strong? And to them, I say, Fairlife protein shakes. That's right, 30 grams of protein in a single serving. And that is what an ad would look like if I had a sponsorship, but I don't. So don't drink Fairlife. I don't know why I bought that as a prop, and I'm probably going to drink it. It's chocolate. What am I going to do? I'm Dutch. I got to do it. It's chocolate. But if you offer products that are vanilla, strawberry, or any other flavors, like any, or if you offer a different product in general that I can't consume, I would advertise it. I probably would. The chances are probably would. If you want to fund an advertisement on this podcast, you could message me like at the Instagram at Likeable Pod, or you could follow me on YouTube and message me there at David Stickle Comedy, and we could talk about it. I'll probably just say yes because I want your money. We're gonna make money with this podcast, so please sponsor the podcast. I'm very excited to do this, and you know what? I'm gonna drink this protein shake now.
My dad always says whenever I annoy him, he'll just look at me and go, "I should have pulled out," and that's like.
This is things
like-
dads do, and then Caribbean people have a different type of humor as well. You know what I mean? So I bring that. I bring my Caribbeanness to wherever I go.
Yeah.
In the stage, because we are represented. There's no way you could go in New York City without running into a Caribbean person. So that bit that I do, I don't know if you ever heard. I talk about Seinfeld and Friends.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's a bit that I do. It's like, hold on, I never liked those shows because I don't see any Caribbean people in it. How you gonna be in the Upper East Side of Manhattan? And
Okay.
you don't get no. You know what I mean? One time, run into a babysitter. You know?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? One time, somebody at least going in the show, like, oh, and Seinfeld goes, "What's that? How did she do that? I don't understand the noise she makes."
Are there any people of color in those shows?
Well, Aisha Taylor was the last season of Friends.
Okay.
And the funny thing about Friends is actually based on Living Single. And David Schwimmer was saying, "Oh yeah, they should make a black version of Friends." I told you before it. He's like, "Hold on, your show came from a black show, sir."
Yeah.
You know, but you know, but it's now this is. I think that it's part of my duty to represent my culture. You know, in what I do. You know,
Yeah.
I think because we are just as good as anybody else. No better, no worse, just a little different. That's
Definitely,
all.
man.
I mean, equals. So
Yeah.
that's what I believe.
And you have your own perspective.
Yes,
'Cause, I mean,
exactly.
in comedy, at least from my perspective, there's a lot of me.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of white guys. You know, straight white guys. There's a lot of us. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's just black guys. There Caribbean comics that I know that don't lean into their Caribbeanness. They sprinkle it here and there. And that's a choice. Nothing's wrong with that. But
Yeah.
for me, you're gonna get me.
Yeah.
You can get how I grew up. You can get how I think. My initial thought of a situation. You know, from a guy that grew up in the Caribbean, because I wasn't born there, but I was raised there from 18 months to 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to come every summer to see my folks. Never spent 3 months with them every summer. Then I go back to school.
Damn.
Yeah, every year until I
Wow.
was 18.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine not seeing my dad or mom for 2 months, you know, like,
It's
or
like 10
only
months.
for 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
But when you're 18 months, I had a relationship with my auntie. Right?
Okay.
Even though I knew she was not my mom, she was kind of like my mom.
Well, she had to be, right? I
Right.
mean, yeah.
Yes. I mean, she was my mother's older sister. So she helped raise my mother as well.
Did you have cousins in the house too?
No.
Or was there
No,
any siblings?
Just me.
Just you.
Just me,
Okay,
just
so
me,
your
just me.
auntie is just watching you.
Yeah, my auntie and her husband, which was my uncle. So
Okay.
I grew up with them, and it was normal for me. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Were they like
Yeah.
strict people?
Yeah, she was.
Because you're like a very respectful guy. Like, you
yeah,
know,
she was pretty. She was pretty strict. Church every Sunday.
Okay.
Every Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, every Sunday. That was it. I used to do what we call recitations in church for like Easter or for Christmas. There would always be a performance.
Okay.
So I'd be up there doing something, saying something,
Oh, okay, that's cool.
playing an instrument or in a play or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Is
that's
that?
what I did.
Are you still religious now?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
religious in about I believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay.
As being a born again Christian. That's what I believe.
Okay.
Right. The term religion or religious is I was like, I've come to grow weary of that word.
Okay.
Because you can do things in the name of religion, yet not be pleasing to God.
That's true.
You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
So
Yeah.
I prefer, even though Christians are getting bashed in this country now for some wild shit that they're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
But yeah,
Bad PR time right now.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Especially on you know.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I lived in Indiana after high school
Yeah.
for like, I don't know, like 2 months.
Yeah.
And it was like, I didn't have religion in my house when I
Yeah?
grew up.
Really?
So, like, yeah. So, and my parents, like, we had crosses on the wall.
Yeah.
And then if I asked, my parents would be like, yeah, you'll figure it out. You know, it was like, they didn't, like, really, you know,
Really?
do anything. Yeah. And I think a lot of people just assume I grew up, like,
Yeah,
really
I do
religious.
too.
Yeah.
Because you come across as being like settled and real.
Yeah, no, I grew up with karma. You know, my parents are like, "That's karma." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Like that's what you get for being a smartass." Like that was,
Wow.
it was always that.
Wow,
You know,
wow, wow.
I
Yeah.
mean, I got spanked like maybe a couple times.
Yeah,
but, you know.
yeah.
But anyways, after high school, I went to Indiana just to like live somewhere different, and that family like allowed me to live with them for free.
Yeah.
But I had to go to church 3 times a week.
Three.
And now, 3 times a week, and I was like, "This is so different." You know?
Yeah.
It was wild.
See, we weren't like that. Sunday, and we would have like every 3 months, every quarter, it was this thing called quarterly. All the different churches within that denomination would assemble. And after I got old enough, she's like, just give me 2 Sundays when it comes to quarterly. So I had 2 free Sundays from quarterly. But other than that, I mean, but it was fun though. You know,
Yeah.
Church was community, sister so and so, brother so and so, pastor so and so. That's what I
Yeah.
grew up with.
That's cool.
You know, that's what I grew up with. It was normal. Because my best friend, he went to church as well. You know, it was a thing. It was a thing. A lot of my friends went to church. Some didn't. Some did, but it was normal going to church on Sundays. Sundays was a special day.
Yeah.
You know, it was a day like now. If I go to church, I could dress like this. You could
Oh,
never.
yeah?
You could never dress like that growing up.
Huh.
You could never.
Yeah.
I do a bit something because when I say about I had underwear just for church, I literally did. Yeah. Every year I'd get a set of underwear that was for church. I'd have shoes and socks and clothes just for church. That was it. 2 pairs of church shoes, one black, one brown. 2 pairs of sneakers, and that's it.
Can't have holy underwear when you go to church.
You can't have worldly underwear.
Yeah. That's funny. When did you meet like Alex? Like when did you guys meet? And like
We met just before the pandemic because we used to go to Lucy's in Pleasantville, the now
Okay.
defunct Lucy's. It was like another 10, 12 minutes from my house.
Okay.
It was super awesome, like, and because I used to live in Brooklyn, I lived in Brooklyn. When I moved up to Westchester, I was looking for a place up here, and for some reason I couldn't find it. Right? I only discovered Lucy's about 2017. I'd go once in a while, but then as I started to go more frequently, I met those guys. The Alex was one of them. It was like, oh, this big dude but he's gentle. You know, he's like a gentle dude. So we would we talk about acting, comedy, just regular cordial as one of the comedians. But then after the shutdown, and we opened back up, that's when it might move to Brewster. Right? So from there, then we would get up on the mics, and then he would always call me Jamaican, right? And I would always call him Russian. And we'd always have that rapport back and forth. And then one day I just said, because I had another friend that I tried to do a podcast with, didn't work out. Shout out Patrick Roncato. But Friday I just texted him. I said, "Yo, you should do a podcast." And I was waiting for him to go, "Oh yeah, what do you think? What do you think about it?" You know what he responded?
what?
"Let's do it."
Yeah.
He's like, "What do I need?" I said, "This is what I have." He bought it, and we shot the first episode in his house. Now, you have this set up simple and everything. I had to set up simple, but the audio was off.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this ain't gonna work. I don't know anything about audio. Until I ran into my town, and when I asked him, because I had an application to do a show before the pandemic, before everything shut down, and he was like, "Hey, come on. There was a space," and that's where we do our podcast to this day. And that's basically how we met.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, we started doing. Alex put me in a lot of shows. It just was on folks. We did a bunch of shows together. Even the movie. It's all Alex.
Yeah, they what's cool about Velvet Sugar is that like well, one, I was on there, so thank you. But two, like it'll just play random episodes for me on Spotify.
Really?
Yeah. So then I kind of try to guess where we are in the timeline.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That's cool. Because 34 popped up randomly. Actually, as I was going to meet Alex to interview him, it popped up.
That's your episode.
Yeah.
34.
Yeah. Or no, 34 is just YouTube.
That's okay. Maybe you're at 34.
Yeah. But you guys were talking about Alex being like stuck in a bar or something like that, and he had to the big guy had to kick the door open. And it was just cool because I learned like random stuff. I think I tuned in. The first episode I checked out of your guys was Cooper Rigo.
Yeah.
Because I knew he was a football player and I wanted to hear about that. And then Al Felony, the interesting character known as Al Felony. Yeah.
Character is the right word. Al
Character's the
Felony.
right word. Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah.
Hopefully you're okay,
Yeah.
dude.
I saw him last night. So
Okay.
it was all right. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Character.
Oh boy. No, but yeah. So the movie.
Yeah.
You were
Mamochka, yeah.
Mamochka.
Yeah.
You placed not you. It is very much. I was telling Alex when I was watching the movie.
Yeah.
Because he had so much screen time.
Yeah.
When like in the parts of the movie, I had to remind myself, like, oh yeah, I know that person,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And then when Andrew B. Steiner came on, I'm
Yeah.
like, what's Andrew doing?
Yeah.
And then for you, it was so hard for me to get into your character because I know who you are as a person, and it's like the opposite of who you are. You just like you come on, and you're like, man, you gotta just shut up, man, just jerk off, like whatever. It's like I was like, David, that's not how you speak. I've never heard you talk like that.
Yeah, but that's what acting is. 'Cause
Yeah.
I did plays before, like in between starting comedy. Before I started comedy, I was doing plays. I remember I did a play called In the Blood, right, by Susan Laurie Parks. I won an award, so we were doing a version of it back in 2002, and it ran for about 3-4 weeks. I was away for a couple weeks, so I got back and I got thrown into the mix. I played a character called Reverend D. And there was this guy that came. He was from like an 80s movies, right? He was big in the 80s. Because his dad was the boyfriend of the director at the time. So he came in after the show, and he gave everybody compliments. He said, oh my God, good job, good job. When he came to me, he goes, you were horrible. And then he went on and said, hey, good job, good job. I was like, damn, I know I wasn't good, but great, but damn, horrible? I was like, because I wanted, but I wanted to do this. I wanted to act. I wanted to do stand-up. And I was like, damn, I was horrible. And here's the funny thing. That was 2002. 5 years later, I was doing Othello, right? And a cast member from that production that we did, came by after the show. And the first thing he said to me, he was like, yo, when did you get good? Right? I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I did gospel plays, did Shakespeare, did off Broadway plays. So that's it. Yeah.
Do you think you have to do like Shakespeare because you can do an English accent? Is that like a requirement?
No, what it is, I'll be honest with you. I met the director doing one of our gospel plays. He just says, your natural voice and you have a stage presence. I think you'd be great for Othello. Right? So I took him at his word. And I was even in the gym training. I lost like 20 pounds training to do Othello. And at first, I was very intimidated by it because everybody else had experience. Somebody had training, production experience, both. I had none. Because I could hear whispers. Even if they weren't there, I'm hearing whispers. Oh, God, this guy's the lead. Ugh. And I kind of really was I procrastinated with the lines, to be quite honest with you. And when our first opening night, I was so nervous because I was an off book, believe it or not. I was good with the first half, but the second half, I did scene 5, act 4. Then we were in scene 4, act 5. Total flub. Fortunately, it was only a handful of people in the audience, and we had canceled the weekend shows because of low ticket sales anyway. And director, shout out Jose Esquer. He said to me, he was like, what do I have to do to get you as solid in the second half as you were in the first half? Because when you were on, you were phenomenal. I was like, I think I'm phenomenal. Over the next 3 days, I got off. All the lines that I didn't know, I got them. And then for the rest of the run, it was a great experience. So good that later that year, I did Othello again at the American Theater of Actors on 50th Street. And I was ready. I was totally ready. I was ready. So there was a guy that was in because their Othello had quit like in the middle of their rehearsal. So they was searching. I don't know how they found me, but they found me. And then the guy was like, the guy that was here before it was good. He's like, but he was like, you're doing some great stuff out there. He's like, you're doing some great stuff. It was a coworker, an ex-coworker came to see me. He's like, I said, I know you said you wanted to act and stuff. He's like, but man, I didn't really think. He's like, you're good. So I'm like, all right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
How do you like memorize lines like that? Like, cause that's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot. But once I go over it, and you go over it and you visualize his lines and what comes after, that's kind of how I do it. It just becomes, it's repetitive, I guess.
Yeah.
I have a vision of where in the script it is until you get those lines down pat. Then when you get those lines down pat, and they're right here in your memory, then you don't have to fight to remember. So you're just frees you. It's just like comedy.
Mm-hmm.
If you go up on stage and you're unsure of your material, you kind of stumble
Yeah,
a little bit.
for
And
sure.
oh my God. But if you know what you're saying, you could just sit there, and what comes at you, you're able to go. Pew! You can pivot if you need to,
Mm-hmm.
and come back. But it's just like that. Once you have it, once you memorize it, then you're fine.
How much, like, if you were to quantify the amount of material you have,
Oh, jeez.
like, do you have an idea of how much time it would be?
Oh wow! If I did everything that I worked on and put together, probably 45 to an hour.
45 to an
I
hour.
believe so.
How do you, I guess, I mean, just repetition to memorize that. But,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's like, I think you're, like, a headliner comedian, but I think headliner comics, like, at this, like, at our current,
Yeah.
like, level, like,
Yeah.
maybe, like, 30 minutes is, like, the
Yeah.
window.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you, like, kind of pick out of that 45 to an hour of, like, what you want to do? Like, is the set building process, is it different, or do you have, like, a set 15 that you want to start with, and then you'll mess around?
I would look and see what I want to talk about. right?
Okay.
I start with me, my family, where I live, neighbors, what I observe, and in that, I decide, okay, where's food? Where's my dog? Where's my friends? Right?
Okay.
Where's my uncle? So then that's how I would go through it and pick out what I'm going to do if I'm going to do something that long.
Okay.
What is growing up? Do I add everything from growing up?
Mm-hmm.
Do I add my American life? Do I compare them before I live here in Westchester? What do my uncle, my dad, my mom,
Mm-hmm.
you know, my in-laws?
Yeah. So do you just like visually map it in your brain, or do you like kind of like
I
picture
don't-
like a your face is the center, and then there's just like circle, 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 and
I
you're just,
kind of map it in my brain out because I did. What was it 2024? Alex and I did a show in South Jersey, and I had all my material. I was only supposed to do like 20 minutes, but the audience was into it. I ended up doing 32 minutes.
Sick.
Easy.
Yeah.
Like easy. I was like, oh shit.
You were just rolling.
Yeah, I was just rolling. It was fun. It was like one of the best shows I've ever had. So much fun.
Yeah.
Because the audience, and I had planned how I want to do this, and I was able to get to stuff, and I was able to use my accents and use all that stuff. So it was fun. But now I got more stuff than I did that, so I automatically say 45 to an hour
yeah.
if I ever get an opportunity to do that. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Wonder if you know that you should come to a show. I have show dates. Oh my, that'll get me canceled. I shouldn't publish this. I really shouldn't. But hey, I'm doing a lot of recording of these in one day, so we're running low on songs to choose from here, friends. All right, so on 313, we've got a Croak Show in Rhinebeck. That one's going to be a very fun one. 314, we've got Sloop Joke Bomb. That one's going to be awesome. We're trying a new setup there. We've been selling out the last couple, so please buy tickets now. You don't want to miss the show. That's going to be on St. Patrick's Day weekend. Both of these shows, St. Patrick's Day weekend, very fun. You know, maybe I'll wear green. That's original, some say. On 321, we got Union Street. We're going to do some comedy there. I've got a great headliner, Carmelo Bonajovi. If you liked him in the episodes that we've had so far, please come and support the show. Watch him. And then at 410, I'm going to be at Two Way Brewing in Beacon. That should be a hot show. It's the last one there was very fantastic. On 411, another Croak Show. 414, it's going to be Gold Sounds in Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn. I think that's a thing. The Nets, very cultured. So cultured. And on 424, we have a Don't Tell All-Star Show. Hopefully by the time you're hearing this, I'll know who the lineup is, but I currently don't. So, and also I wouldn't tell you if I knew anyways, guys. I can't do it. Won't do it. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe buy tickets. Maybe, just maybe, if you're a sponsor of the show, you'll know. I'll tell you who it is. Maybe I'm buying you.
I asked Alex this question because I'm curious at this point, and his advice was not to rush. But I'm at this point right now where I do so many hosting spots and like opening spots. People just like my energy off the front of the show, and I get compliments for it because they're like, well, you want to start off the show right, you know, you put you out there, you're like a good vibe guy, and then I guess in the middle might not be the best part to be, but like the crowd is already kind of warmed up around there, but like, you know, I think. I don't know how you viewed yourself like a year ago when I met you for the first time, but like I've seen you make this huge leap in this past year from my point of view. And like to me you're like a clear headliner.
I appreciate that.
And like I don't know what you like, and that's not to say like a year ago that you weren't, but like, you know, when I saw you, it was like, I feel like Alex was always the headliner whenever I saw you both on shows. And now, you know, like you guys could go back and forth, you know, like you guys are equal in my eyes, you know, so it's like, do you know like any thing you changed or like anything like that?
Belief.
Belief? Yeah.
Belief and confidence.
Okay.
Those two. And I write more now.
Okay.
So, I heard people say killing or bombing an open mic. So I'm like, is it really a killing? And I know specific mics you may have like an open audience or whatever, but an open mic is for you to get your ideas and your thought process out.
Yes.
Right? So that you can see what you have. And then, because Cooper, the first person told me this, record every set. Even if it's not video, you record your audio. And you listen, which I still struggle with listening. For the first one, I go,
I hate it.
but it's what you have to do.
Yeah.
But because when you have like confidence in what and belief in what you're doing, then it allows you then to really bring your presence into wherever situation. So it doesn't matter if you're opening, if you're middle, because you're responsible for your own energy.
Yes, that's true.
You're responsible for your own energy. So when you get up on any stage, your job is to lock in and give the audience you. Your best version of you.
That makes sense.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So regardless of, because a lot of times we suffer from being in our head. So I wonder if I go up and I do this accent, they're gonna think it's hacky or they think it's. And I stopped worrying about that. I was like, this is me. This is what I'm gonna give you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you either gonna like it or not.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's it.
I do think I fall victim to like kind of curating my sets to what I think the crowd might like.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've got this range of material from like clean to blue, and then I'm like, all right, well they're older. Like, let me try this clean joke out. It doesn't hit. Let me try the dirty joke out. It hits. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm doing dirty today.
But for you make leaps as well. Because I remember first seeing you when you start up to now. I was like, because you're consistent.
Thank you.
You're consistent. You're a likable guy. You're a nice guy. You're not a dick.
Likable.
You know, you're a nice guy, which is really good because you run into some real dicks.
Yeah.
You know, and people are full of themselves, and the higher up and the deeper you go into this business, you'll find a lot of haters. You know, but you put the work in. You can't there's no substitution for putting the work in. You come from upstate New York and you're in Brooklyn and Queens and Manhattan. Hats off to you. Shout out to you, man. Look what you did. You have this setup here. You're like, yo, I'm gonna start this podcast. I'm not waiting for this or that. You have a camera and setup. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's 80%, 90% of the journey, the battle.
Yeah, these came about because not everybody can make it to the studio I use.
right.
Yeah, you know,
which is good. And you didn't let it stop you. You was like, okay, well, everybody can't come up to Rhinebeck. I can go to people. I'll make it mobile.
Yeah, thank you for the compliments.
But it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
it's not like I'm making anything up.
Yeah,
you know, it's true.
I'm getting close to my year mark, and I've been happy to do an episode a week for a year. And you know, I don't know if I'll take a break or if I'm just gonna. I mean, right now I'm kind of loading up a bunch so I can take a break. But consistency I think is important to me because I might not have the best quality, but it will be there.
But here's the thing with it though. Anything you do, you get better at. Once consistency, it's when people don't. It's not the glamorous thing. It's what you do when nobody's looking. So when you get up and you don't feel like going to a mic, gosh, I don't feel like writing, and you write, you force yourself to write, then it becomes a discipline, right? Just like eating. You know, you're a weightlifter. You know what discipline is. And if
Kind
you,
of.
if you well, but what I'm trying to say is, if you're disciplined at anything, this is a craft. It's a craft. That's why some mics or some shows are good, some shows are not. I did a show, Long Island. I was like, ugh, right? And I think that's partially because two things. I was a little full of myself, and I didn't prepare. Normally, I'd have my set list. I'd go over it. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm watching the Knicks. And the first joke, audience didn't quite feel as much as they think that normally does. They got a little chuckle, and I was like, another one was a little bit. I was like, man. And I'm struggling through my 10 to 15 minutes. And when I got off, I was like, damn it. Even though a lady came up to me after the show and was like, you were my favorite. I was like, thank you, miss. I wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, that's.
I was like, I wasn't my
feeling.
favorite.
Yeah.
But that's part of it, though. This thing is not a straight line. It's a lot of figuring. It's a lonely journey. You know, even though you may have comedic friends and brother and sister, and it's about you, what you put in.
Yeah.
You have to put in it for you. You could meet, and building relationships is part of comedy and life in general. But you have to. There's no substituting for putting in the work.
Yeah.
Not writing, mic, show, relationship, all that's part of it. Podcasting, all part of it.
Yeah.
And I happen to do all that too, plus, content as well, because I make sketches.
Yeah, you do actually.
I haven't
Really
done them.
funny stuff.
I haven't done them for a while. I got to start back. But yeah, I started out doing a lot of sketches, man. So I love that.
Yeah, I think it's like whenever I get sit down to write, and if it's just not happening, I just find myself on my phone. Like my trick now is to just put everything down and take the premise that I'm working on and just pace back and forth and talk it out.
Right.
And that might not get written down, but hopefully I find a groove in what I'm saying that I'm like, all right, I kind of like this.
You ever get a thought when you're about to lay down or you're sleepy, like you're just about to fall asleep and something pops into your head? You're like, oh. Shit.
So yeah, when I'm trying to wind down, I think that's fine. What kills me is when I randomly wake up at for me 6 o'clock is early, right?
Yeah.
When I wake up at 6, and then I'm just laying there and I'm just oh man, what set am I gonna do today? And then I think about it, and then a new tag comes up, and I'm like, well, I could do that with that, and I'm like. So then I pick up my phone, I'm writing it down, and then then it's Instagram, and then it's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But first, the joke gets written down, and then I'm up for the rest of the day.
Yeah. I mean, sad to say, sometimes I go to bed at 6 o'clock.
You go to bed at 6 in the morning?
Sometimes. It's
Man.
ridiculous. It's silly.
That's wild. What are you doing in those hours of the evening?
I'm just out on YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube looking at recipes or some nonsense.
Interesting.
or watching maybe a series.
Okay.
Because when everything I watch, it's there's comedy in it. I'm working on this bit with, I don't know if it's on Apple TV, with Idris Elba, Hijack.
I know who Idris Elba is. I don't know who.
You got a
I
series.
haven't seen Hijack.
And the Brits, listen, when the British do drama, they do drama.
Okay.
Some of the best in the world where they do. So, but even in drama, you see comedy. So you're training yourself, you're training your eyes and your mind to see a comedy every situation. Because some people like dark stuff. Oh, dark. I'm just dark. I'm dark. Okay, whatever. But comedy is just. I always say comedy is this broad art form that you can pick comedy out of darkness, but it doesn't have to be exclusively dark. You can pick comedy out of joy.
100%.
You can pick. You don't have to be. Oh my God, I'm addicted. I'm hooked on X, Y, Z. Oh no, it can be a great comedy. No, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. Right from where you're at.
What do you think about new comics and how they always immediately go for the Holocaust, like 9/11? Do you ever notice that's a new thing, and then how long do you think it takes before they get out of that?
I've seen that, but I think comedy, there is a lack of mentorship in comedy.
I'll agree.
Right? But again, this is not necessarily an art form with rules and regulations where, okay, or very formulaic where you go, okay, I go get a mentor, then I do this apprenticeship, it's not like that. It's very fluid and free flowing. So lots of people see things. Oh, this is dark. This is what I'm attracted. This is what makes things dark at this person or this particular comic. So you try to follow their footsteps or what you believe or your interpretation of their footsteps, if you understand what I'm saying. And it always, lots of times, started up dark.
Yeah.
You know, Alex always tell me I don't give pity laughs because I don't.
You don't give what?
Pity laughs.
Oh, pity
Like,
laughs.
yeah, like if somebody, oh, ha, 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 if it ain't funny, I'm not gonna laugh. I don't want a pity laugh. If it's not funny, if I don't say something funny, don't laugh. Don't laugh because, you know. So I said all that to say mentorship because a lot of that shit ain't funny.
Yeah, right?
It's not funny. It's
a little played out.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
The mentorship is kind of interesting because, like, you know, I think one of the benefits of doing this show as a, you know, I'd say entry-level comedy, right? Because that's where I'm at, you know? And I'm like, you know, I gotta figure out ways. So, like, talking to comics with experience like yourself or Alex or Zenhauser or, like, anybody, you know, it's just like, you know, I see where you guys are. I'm like, how'd you get there, you know? Because it's just like everybody's got their own path and their own way to do it. And it's, like, really cool.
And I'll be honest with you. When it started out again, I was like, in my head, I was like, man, was it too late? Did I wait too long? Because I had this dream from college days to want to do comedy. And I just never got up the nerve. I got like right on the edge and never jumped in the pool until years later. And when I first started, it was in my head. Is it too late? Did you miss your chance? Did you blow it? Are you wasting time? All these are thoughts that I battle with. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Until finally I just go, yo, because my belief is God gives everybody gifts, talents, and abilities. He's the one that's controlling it. If he has something for you, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
You know, you have your work to do in terms of, you know, you build, you write. Nothing's going to be handed to you. But he's the one that blesses, I believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if he gives you a gift, then it's your duty to curate that gift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those thoughts still creep in every once in a while, but I got to keep at it. You know what I mean? I can't give up. I can't give up.
And I think those thoughts are natural, just because, like, you know, like, I don't feel that way a lot of the time now. But, like, when I started, it definitely felt that way. And then, like, I'll just be kind of like, I'll view it as like stagnant as far as what I'm doing, because I'm a big growth guy. Like I need growth. I need tangible results. But like you can, and you can fall into that trap for sure. But then I'll be at an open mic, and then this like 24-year-old will come and like do a set, and then it's like, you know, they're phenomenal. And you're like, man, when did you start comedy? They're like, oh, 5 years ago. I'm like, you knew you wanted to start when you were 19? Like, oh my God, you know? And it's just like, man, like they have so much time, you know?
You know, I remember when I was in college, I did what was it called? A speech class where you had to get up and speak. And at first I was nervous from that, right? But I got through it. And there was one, because I started leaning into this whole performance thing, but I wasn't raised to pursue art. You're raised, okay, get a good job. Because I took, my godfather made me take corrections officer, firefighter, police. I was this close to becoming a corrections officer. This close. And so one of my friends was like, you know the prisoner shit in the bag and throw it at you, right? I go, what? He's like, yeah. I didn't want to do it anyway. I was like, I'm not. But
sold.
I was like, But I remember what convinced me in school one time. We had to do a monologue. I didn't even know what the hell a monologue was. It was an English level 3. You had to do this monologue. It's going to be a big part of your grade. And I hadn't prepared anything because, like I said, procrastination was my hobby. And I remember the first day that we started doing it, we had like 4 or 5, like the next 4 or 5 weeks. I hadn't write shit down. You hear me? Nothing. I think I went like 3rd that day. And I was like, I'm gonna just do this thing about my godfather. I brought my Discman. I don't know if you know what the Discman is.
Yeah, I know
right?
what a Discman is. Yeah.
I brought my Discman up, and I was like in my head, hey, let's go. So I pretend to be him, talking about back in the day, talking about how it was before, comparing like the 50s to the 90s. And people started laughing. I was like, huh? And when I was done, they gave me like not a standing ovation, but they clapped.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a one particular student. She was like, "You ready?" I was like, "No." She's like, "You didn't do anything?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Oh my God, you gonna?" Then when I got off, she was like, "I thought you said you liar. I thought you said it." I said I didn't do anything. I just improv that.
Yeah.
Like, and the teacher was so impressed. She gave me an A plus for that particular assignment. She was like, "I never revealed the grades, but that was so good. I gave you an A plus." I was like, maybe there is something there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So, you know, that's how I got to starting. Because there were times where I was like, nah, this is not real. Mm-hmm. And I would be sleeping at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Someone would just wake me out of my sleep. And I would hear a voice saying, "I thought you want to pursue acting. I thought you want to pursue stand-up. What happened? You're not doing it." And it was a brokenness that I felt like in my chest. I was like, "Oh, shit, you're right." And I felt so sad.
Huh.
I used to feel like really like depressed for like, you know, that couple seconds or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like disappointed, like, yeah, I'm supposed to be doing this. Once I started to pursue it, I've never had that.
Interesting.
Again. I've never had that. Once I started to pursue this, I never ever got it again.
There's like a motivational speech that I listen to from time to time.
Yeah.
And I hate myself for forgetting this guy's name, but he has this speech is like, imagine if you will, being on your deathbed and surrounding you with all the ideas and the creative thoughts and everything, looking at you and being like, we came to you for life and we came to you for hope, and then now we must die with you.
Yeah.
And you know, I think about that from time to time because I'm like, man, if I have a good idea, like it does just die with me if I don't get it out there.
There was a Bahamian pastor. His name is Dr. Miles Monroe. And he was doing a sermon one time, and he asked, "Where is the richest part of the earth?" So I was like, oh, he's probably talking about Africa, right, with the diamonds and natural. Mm-hmm. And he was like, no, he was like, the graveyard. Graveyard. He was like, those are where people, the hopes and the dreams that they never pursued, that didn't have courage enough to pursue a dream. I was like, oh, wow.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. He said the richest part of the earth is the graveyard for those that did not have the courage to pursue their dreams. I was like, man, I can't let that happen to me. Mm-hmm. So here I am.
Yeah, dude. Hell
Here
yeah.
I am.
Sticks with you, man.
Yeah, it does. So those are things that I stuck out in my mind. And I heard this close to 20 years ago, if not more.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I come from a farm family, so like for us, my parents were always like, oh, he's an entertaining kid, like maybe he'll do something. And I think when I was a kid, they thought it was going to be like pro wrestling, because I love pro wrestling, and that never. I became very fat and didn't do anything with my life. And then they're always like, oh, Dave's really smart. Like he's a college kid. And that was the big thing. Yeah. My first guy in my family to graduate high school. Yeah. So it's like, wow. And the first one to go to college, right? Wow. So it was like, they're like, oh, that's why he's special, whatever. And then afterwards, I'm like, I don't think I'm meant to not talk on microphones, I need to figure something out where I can entertain people. It just feels right. Yeah.
I mean, you just, and the thing about it is one of the things that we do as human beings is we compare. Mm-hmm. Just compare. Doesn't make sense. It's comparison to the thief of joy.
100%.
You know what I mean? You got to do my job, be the best. Mm-hmm. As long as I'm doing that, then I'm happy. Mm-hmm. Because I believe that once they do that, then things will happen as they should. I can control what I can control. That's my effort. That's my discipline, which I lack. But
I could see it on the camera. You look fine.
No. My uncle gave me this, and it's double X. Apparently, he thinks I don't have discipline either.
Yeah.
2X.
I could fit in that, man. I'm a 2XL actually. Yeah.
2XL.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, man. I really. I think it's just important to hear, your story and stuff like that.
Appreciate it, man. Let me sharing it. Yeah, and that's, it's funny because my dad now, every time he knows I have a show, he says, yeah, go put your foot in the ass. That's what he said. He said, put your foot in the ass. That's what he said. So, you know.
You got it. My dad will hear I have a show.
Yeah.
And my mom thinks I do poetry, which is hilarious. My dad will hear I have a show, and he'll just be like, how'd it go? I'm like, good. He goes, okay. And that's it. This is like, he has no concept of, you know.
I had a show in Brooklyn. It was a Caribbean show. And it wasn't too great. Mm-hmm. And my father's like, how was it, man? I was like, it wasn't too great. He said, that's part of it. That's all. He's like, okay, we'll get him in the next one. He's like, all right, that's fine. It's all about learning. Because he himself, my dad was in a series of movies that were shot in the 80s, right? That nothing ever became of him.
Porn.
No, it was actually a excuse me, a series called Across Two Continents, having to do with, you know, the black struggle from Africa, Americas, the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And I remember as a kid, you know, him going off to shoot these. And I actually saw it. I actually saw a copy of it. My dad on the screen and stuff. And it's like, never did I dream I'm here pursuing like the same thing. Because he would tell me, he was like, hey, I started, but he's like, you know, you in it too, just much better than I was, you know, and you gotta go. He's like, go. If I call him now and say, hey, man, I don't know how this company thinks. He's like, hey, man, you gotta go take it. He's like, you're here, you're born in this country, because when he came, he knew he was an immigrant. Like him and my mother, and these guys knew they were immigrants. Mm-hmm. So their philosophy was, if your kids are born here, they're not immigrants. You can't tell them they're immigrants. Now, I'm leaning back to the country, like my heritage. He's like, listen, that's just where you were raised. You're an American. You know, you got to go pursue it, go get it. You're not there. You're here.
Yeah.
So go get it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's what he says.
I mean, that's kind of probably why he came here, is so that you can have a life where you pursue your dream.
I'll tell you how he got here. My grandfather had 9 kids. Right?
Okay.
9. There's no cable in it. There's just sex.
Yeah.
So he got...
It's a good way to entertain yourself.
Yeah. He's like, what are we going to do? No electricity?
Yeah.
Let's have sex. So my grandfather had 6 kids born in Barbados. Then he left, right? Him and his wife left, and they took the 3 oldest, right? Came here to America. Guess what he did? Made 3 more. So he had the 3 oldest and the 3 youngest, and then the 3 middle. Mm-hmm. Then he brought, which my dad was the 3 middle, and they brought them here, and he had 9 kids here. 6 born in Barbados, 3 born in America. So I got about 50, 60, actually no, my cousin gave me a list. It's about, in terms of cousins, first and second and third, it's about probably like 113 or something like that. I was like just, you know, kids, family. Some of them, believe it or not, I used to pass in the street and I would never know.
Oh, dude, thank God you're not on dating apps. That'd be a nightmare.
But I got family. So I'm the only one that has an accent, right? Okay. All the rest of my cousins were born here, and so are the offspring. So you've got, you know, like first cousins. Everybody except for one aunt has 1. Everybody else has 2 or more. 3 or 2, 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And my cousins had babies, and their babies had babies. So it's a ton of us. It's really a ton of us. So, you know, we are American citizens, born, raised. I just wasn't raised here. That's all. We're all born, American born, but I was raised in the islands.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So.
And you just have 1.
Yeah, I just have a daughter.
Yeah. Economical choice.
Yeah, man, she's good. She's pursuing, doing her thing, making her way in the world as well. So proud.
Does she want to be a performer at all?
I don't know. At least not yet. She's into hair, hair and cosmetology. So even though when she was in school, because she's small, right, like her mom.
Okay.
She was in school. She was doing a production. The teacher was like, "You should get her into something because she's the smallest one and she has the loudest voice." Right? But I think some of that went away during the pandemic because then he was kind of isolation greater part of a year. So, you know, which is I don't think that's really addressed and it's not just kids, the parents too. That pandemic messed us up, man. Some people lost people, unfortunately, due to the pandemic. But then the isolationism of it, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I think that played a role in some as well. So.
Yeah, the pandemic changed my life.
Yeah?
I was working at a gym, and then everything shut down, and I had to stop and like look at like what I was doing with my time.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, like I like seeing my family.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
because I was
Yeah.
working 12,
Yeah.
15 hours a day, no
Yeah.
problem. And
Right.
then I just like, oh, I don't want to go back to working, that much time. Like
True.
I want a healthier work-life relationship. And
Very, very true, and I think that
Switched.
a lot of people realize that what was valuable, is family and time. Because it's funny, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and even from successful comedians that we deem successful, at least financially, you're like, man, I'd like to be. A lot of times, they missed their kids' birthdays.
yes.
They missed
Yeah.
this. And it's like, it's tears. They got money in the bank, but it's tears because they missed that birthday. Fortunately, I've never missed my daughter's birthday growing up.
That's
We'd
awesome.
always, because when I was growing up, I was always made to feel special. There was always be a cake, always be parties. So we did the same for her. My wife is going to tell the story about, because I used to have fun growing up, birthday parties. And then she would go, yeah, I never had a birthday party. And it starts to, I was like, starts to go down the hill. I was like, no, I heard it before. You're not gonna ruin this for me. You're not. It's gonna be fun. But we would always have cookouts for my daughter's birthday and growing up. So she had fun at her birthday parties. We had cake, had friends over, So it was great. So I fortunately, I studied and I was like, So maybe my way, even though it's different, because sometimes I remember seeing acts now that are mainstream that I saw in the open mics.
Really?
Yeah, I saw Eric Andre open mics.
Oh, that's cool.
I saw Michelle Buteau. I don't know if you know who she is.
think I know Michelle.
She's an actress, comedian. She has series on Netflix. I believe it's Netflix. Yeah, Couch Comedy Special. But I've seen these guys at open mics 20 years ago. And I was like, and I always go, suppose I had pursued it like that, maybe I would have been. But, my life is my life.
Hell yeah, man.
All I got is today.
And you're killing now.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
Hey, dude, we're gonna wrap up.
All right, man. Well, thanks for having me on, brother.
Yeah, thanks you for coming on.
Thanks for
Follow
having me.
David Beckles at BlackRock Dave.
I appreciate it. Yes,
Yep,
yes.
and the Velvet Sugar Podcast. And I've been saying this wrong so much. Mamochka?
Hey, you call it Mamochka or Mamochka?
Mamochka.
Yeah, Mamochka or Mamochka. Yeah. Check it out on Amazon Prime. You can rent for $2.99 or you can buy it for $9.99.
Yeah.
Leave a review, share it with somebody. Yeah. And
It's important to watch this before you see him in there. That way you know he's not the asshole that he plays. He's just a good actor. It's acting.
Oh, yeah, it's acting, people.
Yeah,
Hello.
get it right.
yeah,
All right,
man.
thanks,
Hey,
man.
man, good job for you too. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going, brother, because you made some strides, man. So, you only just begun, my guy.
I'm trying.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Thanks,
All right,
buddy.
man.
Yeah, you got jokes and you're insightful, but are you likable?